Your brain is so desperate to stay connected that it'll literally start lying to you. You're sitting on the couch, nobody's talking. The TV is on but you're barely paying attention. Then, buzz, your pocket vibrates. Without thinking, your hand dives toward your phone like it's performing a medical emergency. Nothing, no notification, no text, no missed call. Just your genes mocking you. Congratulations. You just experienced one of the weirdest modern hallucinations humans have accidentally invented, the phantom vibration. What's creepy isn't that it happens. It's that millions of perfectly healthy people experience it. Your phone didn't vibrate, your leg didn't twitch. Your brain simply looked at a random sensation and confidently announced, "Yep, that's definitely someone needing your attention." It's basically the neurological version of seeing a potato shaped vaguely like a celebrity. Your brain loves patterns. Actually, that's putting it politely. Your brain is absolutely addicted to patterns. It's constantly guessing what's about to happen because waiting for perfect information would have gotten your ancestors eaten by things with very large teeth. Imagine hearing grass rustle 50,000 years ago. Option 1, assume it's just the wind. Option 2, assume it's a predator. If you're wrong with option 2, you feel a little embarrassed. If you're wrong with option 1, well, somebody else inherits your cave. Evolution heavily rewarded paranoia. Fast forward several thousand years. The tiger has been replaced by group chats. Instead of listening for predators, your brain spends all day expecting tiny vibrations from a rectangle full of memes and work emails. After enough repetition, your nervous system starts predicting notifications before they even happen. That's where things get weird. Your skin is constantly producing tiny sensations. Muscles shift, fabric moves, hair bends, blood pulses. Normally, your brain filters almost all of it out because paying attention to every microscopic sensation would make daily life impossible. Imagine consciously feeling every sock fiber touching your foot. You'd never get anything done. But when your brain expects a phone notification, those random signals suddenly become suspicious. Tiny muscle twitch, probably a text. Pocket moved because you stood up, must be Instagram, a wrinkle in your jeans. Someone definitely sent a meme. Your expectations actually change how you interpret reality. That's not science fiction, that's predictive processing. Modern neuroscience suggests your brain spends less time recording reality than it does predicting it. Think of your eyes, ears, and skin as employees. Your brain is the manager, the employees send reports. The manager immediately says, "I already know what's happening." Most of the time, the manager is right. Sometimes the manager thinks denim is texting you, the really creepy part. The more attached someone is to their phone, the more likely phantom vibrations become. Doctors, emergency workers, students waiting for exam results, people glued to social media. Basically anyone whose brain has learned that every vibration might contain something emotionally important. Your nervous system doesn't just notice notifications, it starts craving them. Humans are remarkably trainable. Give the brain enough rewards at random intervals, and it'll start expecting them constantly. Casinos figured this out decades ago. Turns out smartphones accidentally copied the same trick. Every notification is unpredictable. Maybe it's boring, maybe it's exciting, maybe it's life-changing. Your dopamine system absolutely loves uncertainty. It's like giving a golden retriever infinite tennis balls, but only throwing one every now and then. Eventually, the dog starts chasing leaves just in case. Your brain does something similar. Random body sensation could be the phone, better check. Checking itself becomes rewarding, even when nothing happened. Which is honestly one of the funniest design flaws in human psychology. We've reached a point where a species capable of building space telescopes can also panic because its own thigh twitched. And here's where your own house becomes the trap. You're safe. Nothing dangerous is happening. But your brain keeps scanning for digital interruptions every few seconds. Silence stops feeling peaceful, it starts feeling suspicious. Some people even report hearing notification sounds that never played, again completely real. The brain hears so many familiar sounds that eventually it starts filling in the blanks. It's similar to hearing your name in a crowded room. Nobody actually said it. Your prediction engine just got a little overconfident. The house hasn't changed, the room hasn't changed, only your brain has. It's built an invisible prison where attention is constantly pulled toward a device that isn't even asking for it. Basically, your nervous system hired itself as your phone's unpaid personal assistant, and it's doing overtime. Imagine waking up in the middle of the night, your eyes open, you can see your bedroom. The ceiling is exactly where it should be, the shadows look familiar, your blanket is still there, everything seems normal. Except for one tiny problem, you can't move, not your arms, not your legs, not even your fingers. Your brain is awake, but your body is acting like someone pressed the pause button. And then comes the worst part. Your brain starts decorating the room. Maybe you feel like someone is standing nearby, maybe you hear footsteps. Maybe you sense a presence watching you from the corner. Congratulations. Your mind has just created a horror movie where you are both the main character and the person trapped inside the cinema. This is sleep paralysis. A strange glitch between sleeping and waking where your brain turns your bedroom into one of the creepiest places imaginable without you ever leaving your bed. The weird thing is, sleep paralysis isn't caused by ghosts, demons, or mysterious creatures hiding in your room. Although your terrified brain would like to file a complaint with the supernatural department, the real explanation is actually much stranger. Your body has a built-in safety feature called muscle atonia. During a dream phase called REM sleep, your brain creates incredibly realistic experiences. You can run through forests, fly through cities, fight monsters, or somehow fail an exam you haven't taken in 10 years. Your brain is basically running a full Hollywood studio every night, but there is one problem. If your body physically acted out every dream, humans would spend every night punching walls and attempting imaginary parkour. So evolution created a temporary shutdown. Your brain tells your muscles, everyone stay still. We are having adventures, but nobody is breaking furniture. Usually this works perfectly, you dream, your body rests, everyone goes home happy. But sometimes the timing gets messed up. Your consciousness wakes up before your muscles do, your brain turns on, your body stays offline. It's like your mind has booted up, but your physical hardware is still installing updates. And that gap creates one of the strangest experiences humans can have. Because your brain hates incomplete information. It is constantly trying to explain what is happening. If you can't move, your brain searches for a reason. And unfortunately, your brain is not always a calm scientist wearing glasses. Sometimes it's more like a paranoid detective who watched too many horror movies. Why can't we move? Maybe because something is here. Why do we feel scared? Obviously because danger is nearby. Why is there a shadow? Definitely a monster. Case closed. Your brain fills in the blanks. This happens because humans evolved to detect threats quickly. Imagine ancient humans waking up unable to move inside a dark cave. If your brain calmly said, interesting. Perhaps this is a temporary neurological condition, you might become a very educated snack for a predator. Fear was useful. Overreacting kept people alive. The problem is that modern humans still have the same alarm system. Except now, instead of worrying about a tiger outside your cave, your brain sometimes creates a fake tiger inside your bedroom. And the bedroom is the perfect place for this illusion. Darkness removes information, your eyes can't see clearly. Your brain has fewer details to work with, so it starts improvising. A pile of clothes becomes a person. A random noise becomes footsteps. A shadow becomes something that definitely has intentions. Your brain is basically trying to solve a mystery with half the evidence missing. And somehow it always chooses the scariest possible answer. It's like asking a detective, we found a strange shape in the dark, what is it? A normal detective says, let's gather evidence. Your brain says, probably death. The hallucinations during sleep paralysis are especially fascinating because they often follow patterns. Many people report feeling a presence in the room, not seeing a random object. Not imagining a cartoon character, a presence, something watching, something nearby. Scientists believe this may happen because your brain is extremely good at detecting other humans. Your survival depended on noticing other people, friends, enemies, predators. Your brain has specialized systems that search for human shapes and intentions. During sleep paralysis, those systems can activate without a real person being there. Basically, your brain's "someone is nearby" detector starts firing while nobody actually exists. It's like a smoke alarm going off because you looked at toast. Annoying, yes. But the alarm is still doing its job. The creepy part is that your own brain can create a threat convincing enough that your entire body reacts. Your heart races, your breathing changes. Your muscles tense, you feel genuine fear. Even though the danger is entirely manufactured by the same organ experiencing the fear. Your brain has become both the haunted house and the person screaming inside it. And honestly, that's one of the strangest things about being human. The scariest places are not always abandoned buildings, deep oceans, or unexplored planets. Sometimes the most terrifying location in existence is a familiar room at 3 a.m. when your own mind decides to become a horror director. Basically, your brain is a survival machine so advanced that occasionally it scares itself just to make sure it still works. Have you ever been completely certain something happened, only to discover it never happened at all? Maybe you remember a childhood trip, the restaurant, the people sitting around the table, the conversation, the smell of the food, the exact color of the walls. Then one day someone casually says, "That never happened." And suddenly, your brain freezes like an old computer trying to open 1,000 browser tabs. Because how could you remember something so clearly if it wasn't real? Welcome to one of the strangest places your brain can trap you, a memory that never existed. The creepy thing about memories is that most people imagine them like video recordings. You experience something, your brain saves the file. Later, you open the file and replay the event, simple. Except your brain is not a security camera. It is more like an unreliable storyteller who keeps editing the script every time it tells the story. Your memories are not stored perfectly, they are rebuilt. Every single time you remember something, your brain reconstructs it from pieces, some real information, some emotions, some assumptions. And occasionally a little imagination sneaks in wearing a fake mustache, the result. A memory that feels completely real but is partly invented. Think about remembering your childhood home. You might picture the hallway, the furniture, the sounds. But how much of that image comes from the original experience? And how much comes from later photographs, stories, and things you learned afterward? Your brain mixes everything together like a chef who accidentally puts every ingredient in the kitchen into one giant soup. And then confidently serves it to you. This is your memory, no returns accepted. Scientists have studied this phenomenon for decades, and the results are fascinating. Researchers have shown that people can sometimes develop false memories of events that never happened, not because they are lying. Not because they are confused. Because the brain is designed to create a smooth, complete story. Your mind hates empty spaces. Imagine watching a movie where 10 minutes are missing. Your brain would immediately try to fill the gap. What probably happened? The same thing happens with memories. If your brain remembers the beginning and end of an event, it may create a believable middle. It is basically doing unpaid scriptwriting. And unfortunately, your brain is very confident in its creative work. One of the strangest things about false memories is that confidence and accuracy are not the same thing. You can be extremely confident and completely wrong. Your brain does not attach a warning label saying, "Warning, this memory was reconstructed with questionable materials." It just places the memory in your mind and acts like it has been there forever. This is why eyewitness testimony can be complicated. A person can genuinely believe they saw something. They can describe it in detail. They can swear they are telling the truth. But memory is influenced by many things after an event happens: questions from other people, new information, photos, suggestions. Even the way a question is asked. For example, asking, "Did you see the broken glass?" can create a different memory than asking, "Did you see any glass?" A tiny change in wording can influence what the brain reconstructs. Your memory system is powerful, but it is not a courtroom camera. It is closer to a talented artist who occasionally paints details that were never there. And this happens in everyday life. You might remember meeting someone before when you actually met a person who looked similar. You might remember saying something that someone else actually said. You might remember an object being in a room because it logically should have been there. Your brain fills in missing pieces because, from a survival perspective, a complete understanding of the world was more useful than perfect accuracy. Early humans did not need flawless memories of every leaf and every rock. They needed useful memories, where danger was, where food was. Who could be trusted? The brain evolved for survival, not for creating a perfect historical archive. Basically, your memory is less like a hard drive and more like Wikipedia, usually helpful, constantly updated, occasionally wrong. And sometimes edited by someone who has no idea what they are doing, the strangest part. Your memories help create your identity. Your past experiences shape who you think you are. But some pieces of that story may be slightly different from reality. You are, in a way, living inside a story your own brain keeps rewriting. Not because your brain is trying to trick you. Because it is trying to make sense of everything. It wants your life to feel like one continuous story, instead of millions of disconnected moments. And sometimes, while stitching the pages together, it accidentally adds a chapter that was never written. So the next time you confidently say, "I remember exactly what happened," remember that the person making that statement is the same brain that occasionally forgets why it walked into a room. A device powerful enough to imagine the future, create art, and understand the universe. But still capable of inventing a fake memory and saying, "Trust me, I was there." Basically, your brain is the world's most advanced storytelling machine. The only problem is that sometimes it writes fiction and forgets to tell you.